This is a Silk exclusive.
Welcome back to episode 9 of Words Music Dance. I'm your host, Paulie the Bull, as always, and I'm joined today by a few of my lovely close friends. To my left, I have my boy Ricky, or Ricardo. You know, it's like the...
It's Ricky.
Okay.
Ricardo's my bedroom name.
So Ricardo and
Whoa!
and Ricky, share your social media with the world if you like to.
Instagram, Master Chief Ricky, spelled like it sounds.
Okay, spelled like it sounds. So you want to spell it?
MasterChiefRicky.
Okay. MICKEYMOUSC?
Something like that.
All right. And to my right, I have the first female to make an appearance on the show. Yay! My lovely friend Michelle. Say hello to the people, Michelle.
Hello, everyone.
And share your social media if you like.
It would be Sexy Sinister, so SEXYSYNYSTER.
Barely any vowels in there, just. All right. And how you guys doing today, actually?
Good.
Doing good?
Good. Tired. Coming off of Raw 25 last night.
Yes. So Ricky had the pleasure of being at Raw 25 last night. I watched a little bit of it on TV.
A little jealous.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not as big of a wrestling fan as I used to be. I still watch occasionally. Events like that I do like to see. So I thought about it, and then I remember you said you were going. And even when I got home, I was like, what's on TV? Then I remembered, Raw's on. So you were at the Barclays or you were at Manhattan Center?
I was at the Barclays, and one of my boys hooked me up with a ticket.
Nice.
On the way there, he said that they're going to be in 2 venues.
I didn't know that either.
Like, I don't know how that'll work. So it was an event it was like a simultaneous event. You remember like when Shane bought Nitro and then McMahon had Raw, and they were going back and forth between shows simultaneously. So they had certain characters, certain superstars at the Barclays Center, and then superstars at the Manhattan Center.
You were at Barclays. When they were showing stuff at Manhattan Center, what were you guys doing in Barclays?
Well, it was live simultaneously. Like they had.
But you were seeing it on the screen, or?
Yeah, we were watching on the screen.
Okay.
For example, Undertaker came to. He was at the Manhattan Center, so we saw things we saw him on the screen.
So they didn't keep you guys bored. They still showed you what was going over there.
It's like nobody knew.
Nobody knew who was where.
Right, nobody knew who was at which venue, and a lot of people were saying, "We want a refund," things like that.
Do you feel cheated? I was going to ask you that. Do you feel you were cheated because you didn't see Undertaker live?
No.
So do you feel like it could have been someone's first time? And
I would have been pissed.
Yeah. Do you feel like do you feel cheated or?
No, not at all. I mean, we got Stone Cold, surprisingly. We got Vince McMahon.
Stunned them.
We haven't seen Vince McMahon in a while.
Right.
We got. I thought we were gonna get The Rock, but we got John Cena. We got Strowman. We got Lesnar.
Yeah, you're really jealous, right?
Hell no.
And we got Kane. Overall, it was pretty good. There was a guy next to me that found out that Enzo Amore got suspended yesterday morning, because of sexual harassment accusation.
So for those that don't know, give a little backstory on Enzo. Cause like I said, I'm not huge into wrestling.
Enzo, he's a big
Oh my God, is that Italian guy?
Yes.
That has that really hard act that sounds like a freaking fake hard Italian accent.
Talks.
Yeah. Oh God.
Surprisingly, that's how he is in real life, backstage.
Shockingly, it's not surprising.
So it wasn't an act. So again, elaborate. What is the charges being brought up?
He got accused in October for rape.
One of the girls in the show?
No, it was
like a fan or something?
A nobody, pretty much.
Okay.
He was at I forget which concert he was at, but he raped a female at the concert.
Wow.
And today, WWE came to terms with his contract, and he's gone, which I'm sure most people are happy. Because he's a motor mouth backstage.
As of now, has any of the divas and stuff in the WWE said anything about him? Has he done anything to them? I guess he can fight, maybe.
I haven't seen any tweets defending or...
Right, nobody's really spoken up for or against him? And he's suspended or he's fired?
No, he's fired. Yesterday he was suspended. Today he's gone.
Okay, so they must have some real proof. So, as we all know, a lot of that has been coming out in Hollywood and the music business. So, I guess now also in sports entertainment, sexual aggressiveness, harassment, rape, a lot of that has been coming out in the culture.
It's like an epidemic that's coming out of nowhere.
Right. So
Stan Lee.
Yeah, Stan Lee.
Spacey.
Right, Spacey, and he's pedophilia. You know,
Is he gay?
Yeah.
So we kind of all knew that
he was accused.
He came out being gay.
But it was
kind of
weird.
knew already.
In a tweet, he said, "Yes, I accept the accusations, and then I'm gay." So like that kind of
sidebar.
Right.
By the way,
I'm gay.
That doesn't make it any lesser.
Better.
You know, that was a little boy. You know, little girl, little boy. It's still a child that you know, screwing with the livelihood and the future of. So you know, what do we now? It's great that we have a female to give it the female perspective, so we don't seem chauvinistic in all of this. What are your thoughts, Michelle, on the Me Too movement that's going on? Oprah Winfrey's speech, you know, all that. More specifically, actually, one of the latest things was what's the comedian Aziz Ansari?
Aziz Ansari, yeah.
Are you familiar with that case that he's going through?
He's the short Indian guy that he's.
The comedian?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the girl, like I think like last week or something like that, she was like, he ignored her nonverbal communication that she wasn't interested, even though she was back at his house. They apparently performed oral on each other. And she said she went home crying, and someone released a story calling him a sexual predator, saying that he's borderline rapist or, you know, sexually aggressive to her. And a lot of people looking at it as a bad date. You know, a lot of people see it as a bad date.
She said no. I mean, he said no, and she got mad.
And she texted him or something like that. Right on the ride home.
Wait, so he said no or she said
no? On the way home, she said on the way home, she texted him saying that he ignored her nonverbal signs, and she's like, I didn't want to do it, yada yada yada, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. Actually, before I even go to that point, when they were in the act of doing what they were doing, she said no, and he kind of said okay. So she said at one point he was ignoring her no's or whatever, but the moment she actually said no out loud, he then said all right, fine, and they got dressed and went their separate ways. And then she's like, she texted him when she got home, and then he apologized. You know, he was unaware of. I mean,
if he stopped the minute she said no, she should have just opened her mouth from the beginning. Mm-hmm. It's just that plain and simple. Mm-hmm. And even if she was showing body movements as no, I mean, some guys could just take it as she's playing hard to get. Mm-hmm. And then that's the whole misconception when it's kind of like when guys like, do you mean no, like no for real, or no, like you're playing hard to get and I'm going to still keep going?
Right.
So if he stopped the minute that she said no, then she should have just said no from the get-go and not try to. And again, you got to see if this girl is a celebrity or not. You know, or she's
from what they heard, they've kept her name anonymous, but people are saying. I think the reporter who presented the story saying she's not in the industry.
So at the end of the day, she could. I mean, while it was happening, she let it happen. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of either she did want it or she didn't want it to happen, and now either she's playing the victim to get money out of this whole situation. That right. I feel like that's what it comes down to in celebrity cases. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, you got to see what they're worth and what you could get. But just in general, like the whole concept is wrong when no is no, and it should be moving forward. You know.
I agree. At this point, I don't believe she's pressed charges. However, like you said, a reporter posted the story in the New York Post. Her name has still remained anonymous. I don't know if she's going to write a book or try to get something out of it. But as of now, she's remained anonymous. So I don't know if she wants money out of it. I think she wanted to test the waters and see what could come of it. And it seems at this point now
that it's extortion. It's extortion.
Exactly. And at this point, the reporter who reported it is kind of being the trailblazer in this situation. She's the one trying to really come up from it. She's been going hard because I forget her name, but one of the news anchors on CNN said kind of what you're saying. Nonverbal isn't enough at times. If you got to physically push them off or just say it, just say no. A lot of people have been countering her story. So the reporter kind of fought back, saying, "This is the story of this woman." Like, and she kind of went at the reporters, the CNN anchors, kind of trying to tear her down, like,
right.
You're too old to get that. And so it seems like the woman who posted the story seems to be going harder than the actual anonymous person in the case.
Well, journalists would do that just in general, just to make more of their name, you know? I mean, not only just with like rape cases, but even like, let's say with murder cases.
Right.
There's documentaries, like on Netflix, where you see the reporters saying that they'll go above and beyond just to get the story.
Yeah.
So
it's a dangerous situation right now. On previous episodes of Words Music Dance, I've spoken on this whole Me Too movement, where a lot of women now are coming out, and some of them 20, 30 years later. Bill Cosby, now the story of Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein, and even Stan Lee, which hurts to hear. And that one's more recent, but the man's 90-something years old.
He's innocent.
There's that thin line between an old man flirting. We don't know exactly what he might have did. His wife recently passed away. He might be lonely, might want somebody to, give him a sponge bath or something. Who knows? But it's the times we're living in now. Things that a lot of these men have been doing for years, and either you can look at it as getting away with or didn't know was bad. Now the culture we live in is very sensitive, where it's bad, and like you said, some women are trying to get money from it or come up from it, or whatever.
It's an epidemic. Like some of it could be extortion, some of it could be I just want to damage you.
Right.
Some of it could be real.
Russell Simmons had to step down from his multiple businesses, and like I said, a lot of it is 10, 20, 30 years old. Statute of limitation is done, but in the court of public opinion, these guys are guilty.
right.
So they're leaving their businesses, they're leaving, and the damage is done.
Even if it's false, like an accusation could damage you.
Right. So where do we think this is going to continue for some time?
I mean, like if it's a fad.
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. It's like ever since Hugh Hefner died.
I read somewhere too. I think it was a meme.
Ever since Hugh Hefner died,
I cannot.
everything was good. Hugh Hefner died, and boom, accusation after accusation after accusation.
So you're
It's
saying
like
Hugh Hefner protected all these
yes,
men?
he held the glue. Like yo,
And what is this glue that
just
men
come
could
my
get
house.
away harassing women?
No.
Okay then. So what glue was he holding?
Definitely, like the glue. Like if it wasn't for him, like he died, and
You'd be out here just grabbing.
happened.
He's not in a better place now though.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah,
I
I feel like he knew a lot. He knew a lot what was going on in that mansion.
Hashtag bring back Hugh Hefner.
We can't prove it. Why you want to bring him back?
So all this stuff can go away. Stan Lee, that has to go away.
You got some cases pending or something we should know about?
Not yet.
Why you
I've never heard.
when you said that.
Listen, I've never heard of a male accusing them of sexual
Because how is
harassment.
it physically possible?
It is physically possible. Like in the train, a guy can get groped.
You got you something you want to share?
Not really, but
So in real life, we know Terry Crews has said that a man grabbed him at a party. Terry Crews.
Right, yes. I love
He
him.
said that a man grabbed him.
Yeah.
So
no,
that can happen.
I can see
right.
that. But I mean a male being harassed by a woman.
Here's the difference between men and women.
They think differently, first of all.
No, not even that. Not even that. It's very rare that we're gonna say no, don't do that. She got to be real ugly.
You gotta have
true
beard
or false?
goggles on.
A lot of women. There's about a lot of women that would come to you, and if they want it, you're gonna, are you gonna? And think about it. A lot of men, would they even go to the cops?
Because they'll feel like.
Now the situation is different with his little boys. We've heard cases of little boys being misused or molested by older women, but grown men, for the most part, if they got a little head or something, they're like, "Thank you." I mean, no, like, it's a thin line.
Yeah, I'm all about respect both ways.
And I agree with you.
And you respect me, don't touch me.
Who do you think is a beautiful woman in Hollywood?
Who do I what?
Who do you think is a beautiful woman in Hollywood?
So you gonna tell me if Mickey James tried to grope you, you gonna say no to her?
That's different. Cause
Okay, how is that different?
See what I'm
I
saying?
want Mickey James.
You see?
I was so close.
So you're
jumping the ropes and just.
See?
Can we match?
So that's why you don't really hear a lot of. Look at this example. Look at the movie Horrible Bosses. Remember that movie? His boss was
Jennifer Aniston, right? Was
yeah, Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, okay.
She was going all out. She raped him, and it was a funny movie. If the tables are turned,
oh, it's gonna be a controversy. It would be like, oh my god, why would they promote something like this?
Exactly.
Even just something as simple as X-Men. I don't know if you hear the whole controversy with Apocalypse. When he would choke Mystique and people were like,
they put it on the poster.
Yeah,
that was the beginning of the sensitivity.
And I'm
of
like,
a lot of
first of all, it's a comic, you know, like are we really taking it there, like?
Right.
So
people are sensitive about everything these days, and it seemed like it happened overnight. It wasn't like this a year ago.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, it started. I
just think it's been transitioning. No offense or anything like that to like millennials, but just in general, because that's really where it comes from. Like all these millennials.
Well, these are older women that are.
Well, no, I'm saying the whole sensitivity.
Okay.
Like you can't say something without somebody getting offended. But yeah, I feel like these older women that are coming out with these accusations. They were probably ashamed, to come out during, like something like that was such a taboo back in the 90s, like in the early 90s or even the late 90s. It's kind of like...
Well, even going further back, in the 70s and stuff, Hollywood, the casting couch...
But I wasn't born yet. So
right. Well, I ain't done
Neither were we.
The cast,
in the 80s,
But the casting couch was one of those rumors that people knew that, a lot of women would sleep with the producer or do such and such to get the role. Top, and a lot of them would initiate it.
Right.
It wasn't always the man saying...
The female would initiate.
The female would initiate.
Of course, because she wants to get somewhere.
Right. So it wasn't always the male saying, well, if you want this role, what would you
I just feel like that's just in general, too, because even... I've had friends who've worked at companies where they have slept to the top to get to management positions where, let's say, the industry that I work in, it's like if you're not gay or lesbian, it's pretty hard to kind of move up if you're a straight male or female in the industry that I'm in,
And what industry is that specifically? So viewers know?
Cosmetics, in the makeup industry.
She whipped the hair back, which is cosmetics.
Cosmetics.
That's part of training?
No, it's not part of training.
Okay.
So, and it's something where, being in the industry for so long, for 10 years now, it's like, I've seen, again, not that I have anything against gays or anything like that, because, I have a lot of friends who are, and I love and support them. But I've noticed that it's something where they tend to move up faster,
Gay and lesbian?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they tend to move up faster. Like, I've had friends who, literally gay friends, lesbian friends, who they tend to move up faster versus someone like, let's say, myself or my straight girlfriends who will be stuck in the same position maybe couple years later, finally get supervisor, and it's like, to where I'm at now, where it's like I'm finally managing what I like to do.
And then if somebody new comes in, fresh makeup artist,
not that somebody new comes in, it's just, well, I'm already established in my position, so it's not like somebody could knock me down. It's just I'm just saying, but it's something like, let's say if I was in a supervisor position and someone new came in like guns blazing, then, and let's say that person was extra flamboyant, then yeah, that person might one up me in that sense. So, but again, it's all politics, when it comes to things like that. But, getting back to what you were saying, back in the days, some producers, some of the female leads would try to do stuff to get to what they needed to get to.
We all know one of the things they say, sex sells.
Right.
So sexuality is promoted in music,
a lot of stuff.
Movies, TV. We were talking off camera before. You were saying how you were down in Miami.
Yeah.
What did you witness?
Being in South Beach, it was a fun, great time experience, and then it was just, my mouth dropped just seeing these young girls literally like 90% exposed, and not only were they young girls, because clearly they were with their parents, and me as a mother, I would kill my child if she were to ever leave the house like that. And I think you could agree with that.
And she wouldn't own clothes to begin with.
So,
Like that.
exactly. And it's just something where, again, they're so, let's say if it's just a group of young girls or 18, 19, whatever, but if you run into a group of guys, you're not going to be able to outfight them. You know, no matter how tough you think you are, it's physically impossible. Unless you're fighting against some scrawny ass guy, then maybe you have a one up, but
Or unless you know self-defense.
unless you know actual like trains, yeah, but like, you know, these girls, like, they would bend down and they were just fully exposed, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't need to see this, you know. And it's crazy, like, how I kind of start thinking, I'm like, okay, so if they're fully exposed, then they get mad when guys start whistling at them, and they're like, but it's like you're putting yourself in that position. So it's like, and if you don't want that kind of attention, then you shouldn't dress the way you're dressing.
But at the same time, you should be able to show off.
Yeah, she should be able.
Body,
Okay, so if a girl has a nice body, like, again,
I mean, talking about older females, not.
well,
not
no,
little
just
kids.
women in general. If you have a good body, flaunt it, whatever, you know. But my thing is, like, yeah, flaunt it to a certain extent, because then
Right, don't
what if
be
you
showing
come
so
across
much
the wrong
cleavage.
guy who's not mentally stable, and then he does something more than just look at you and then just, you know, starts following you and puts his hands on you. So you just
You
never
shouldn't
know.
have to cover up all the time.
I'm not saying dress like a nun, but I'm just saying it's just, again, it's all about self-respect. Like, again, you're not gonna be all exposed and not expect someone to, like, holler at you. Even today, I just
Yeah, but the way males are these days, you could be all covered up, like not
It's
skin
true.
tight, but you know, like
No,
fitted shirt, and they'll try to holler at somebody.
well, no, you're
just the
right.
same as
Because
somebody-
even myself, like today, when I was coming from Starbucks, this guy's like, "Hey, mommy." Meanwhile, I'm like with my jacket all covered up, and I'm like, "What are you saying hi to?" Like, I clearly have no makeup on. I am coming. You know, it's cold outside. I'm coming out with my coffee. I'm like a hot mess, and it's so even. Just look at it that way. Like, you don't have to. A woman in general doesn't have to be so exposed, because a guy would be a guy. I'm not saying all men are the same, because they're not. You know, I have met some who are super respectful, and I've met some who are just degenerates, you know? So it's just a balance of how you portray yourself and how to carry yourself, I guess, and keep yourself in a safe situation.
And some girls will be guys also.
Well, yeah, girls can think like guys, but those are a few. Those are a few handfuls, I would say.
Do we think? Do we feel like the culture now, like you were saying, the millennials, whatever? Do you think that's being pushed now, or
I do have a lot of
that's
millennial
accepted
friends.
now?
I do have a lot of millennial friends where they'll put a picture, let's say, in like a bodysuit on their Instagram, and then the minute the guys start commenting, they're like, "Oh my God, why is he like?" And I'm like, "Bitch, you're exposed. Like, like, what do you expect? Like, not to." And even like in a sense,
Then they'll put a post. My DMs are full. My DMs are this. My DMs are that.
yeah, or like, I think that
And
my
they call
favorite.
men thirsty.
Yeah,
first.
I think like my favorite one is like when they have like a Bible verse, and then like as their caption, and then all their pictures are like Snapchat filters and half-ass naked, and it's like, really, like what are you trying to sell here, you know? But even something like, just in general, even myself, like there's times where like I'll take a picture and then, you know, my boyfriend will be like, "You're posting that?" And it's like that right there, him as a guy is kind of letting me know, okay, you're gonna get more than just a like on that picture, you know. And it's like, fine, I won't post it, because I'm not trying to, you know, have problems with my partner. It's just that simple.
So
It's
that's a
out of
good
respect.
example. So do you feel there are times where the female is unaware of how much attention she might get?
Yes, and if it's an innocent picture, then yes.
But like you said, even when you went outside, you know, even in real life.
Yeah, like I said, I
you didn't
wasn't
feel like
dressed
you-
up.
right.
No, I wasn't dressed up at all. And then just for this guy, like literally come up in my face, I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" Like I got, it kind of irritated me, because it's like, I'm not giving you nothing to trigger you to try to approach me. You know, so it's like.
And then there are times where some women are looking for that attention.
I guess so, you know.
Rick, you have any? You take a lot of topless pictures on Instagram.
How you know?
I mean, I be scrolling.
I don't show my pepperonis.
Oh, okay. That's
so it's from here up.
Okay.
The eyes are up here.
Very tasteful.
The eyes are up here.
Very tasteful. Yeah.
I can't.
But do anybody slide in your DMs? You don't want to, all of them? You don't want to say no names? All the ladies. Hey, how y'all doing? Ricky B free in a couple hours. Don't worry about
Ricky's single and looking.
Oh my gosh.
And he's ready to mingle. Please help.
And I will ignore every one of you.
But yeah, so do we? How much of all of this do we feel social media pays though? Do we feel like?
I don't think social media pays attention to it too much. I mean, just the same way social media doesn't pay attention to a lot of stuff going on in the world, you know? It's like everything, if it's not about the Kardashians, if it's not about like celebrities, or it's something where it got to the point where I don't even watch the news because it's just so depressing and so sad, but it's like I have to watch the news to see what's going on. But everything on social media is just celebrities versus talking about whether it's like global warming or whether it's about, you know, the politics that are going on, whether it's about, you know, like wasn't there like a school shootout today?
Yeah, there was a 15-year-old
No,
shot up a school, two dead and 17 injured in Kentucky.
And it's like nobody's heard about it.
Yeah, I haven't really been on today, but
you know,
yeah,
so it's little things like that where it's like.
But if other people around you would watch the news or pick up a newspaper or not be on their phone, they would.
But that's one of the reasons why I have this platform as well, because I'm also being enlightened on stuff too. So
you know, and especially having a young daughter, you know, it's something where. I know he's very big on preaching that we can't protect her from everything, and it's like, yes, I get that, but I will try to protect her as much as I can from, you know, and I tell her about the real world, you know, and it's like, you know, yes, you're a good kid, you're a good student, your father spoils you, I'm like, but you need to understand that the reality that the stuff that you have, people in your homeland country don't have, you know, like, not only just where I'm from, but even in Puerto Rico, like due to the hurricane, like people are not covering that they're still out of power.
Some places just got power back,
like,
some a lot still don't. Yeah.
And and funny enough, I was actually supposed to go to Puerto Rico the weekend before the hurricane went because of my job. They were gonna send me to and something in my gut, I was like, no, I was like, you know what, I won't go to Puerto Rico now. And I'm like, let me just go to Boston because I love going to Boston. So I was like, let me go to Boston instead. And when I was in Boston that weekend was when the hurricane hit. Wow. And I was like, holy shit.
Wow.
I was like, I could have probably been stranded out there.
You could have been stranded out there?
I could have been stranded out there. So, but you know.
It's my daughter's mother, by the way.
Yeah.
I think they established that.
I don't know.
So.
They do now. They know that.
And unlike most parents, I think we have a good friendship, co-parenting friendship.
I hope so, because I'm sitting in the middle, so.
Right. I mean, I can't stand him at times.
I'm the cookie or the cream?
Lord.
Whoa. Well, a lot of females don't like the way that we are.
Right? They don't like what?
A lot of females don't like the way that we are.
Why?
Oh, Lord.
So what do you mean by that?
We have no drama. We're friends. I can drink with her here, or we can go to the bar and.
I feel like people find it odd that him and I have a good relationship. But I feel like it took years to establish what we have now. Granted, there was times where we bumped heads. There was times where I couldn't stand him. Vice versa. I mean, but it came to the point where just personally, I feel like I had a big turn in my life where he kind of was like, okay, like, you know what? Let's just put the bullshit aside. We do have a kid, you know, we do have a child. And ever since that, you know, we've been hand in hand, like, you know, helping each other, raising her, you know. And it's good, I would say, because, you know, at least the co-parenting, so it's not kind of like how she
has both parents there.
She has both parents. So it's not like where she's like, oh, well, my parents can't be in the same room. You know, and that's something I grew up with, where my parents can't be in the same room. But, you know, she could have that luxury. And then not only that, but I feel like...
texting you?
It was a DM.
Not only that, but...
They slided.
They slided.
They did.
With Monte Cristo all over them?
Lord. I can't. So, it's something where even now, like I said, we could go out for drinks, you know, and it's not just me and him, but just us and a group of friends, or I'll invite him, hey, come downstairs, get some drinks, whatever, things like that. And what bothers me is the fact that, let's say, like my partner, my boyfriend would be like, oh, that's good that you have a good relationship, because I guess he feels more like, I don't need to deal with that baby daddy drama. And now when the tables are turned, it's like when he tries to date somebody.
When it's a female.
And it's like when he tries to date somebody, they're like, you're cool with your baby mama, or
it's like they prefer.
They're like, you don't
drama.
have, you don't have baby mama drama, and it blows my mind because it's like I told him, like, I don't care who you with, I don't care who you date, just as long as they're good to Caitlyn, you know, so that's pretty much it. And you know, they'll find me a threat when I'm not a threat, you know, and it's like. And it's sad because it's like, and that's why I told him, like, you need to stop dealing with these girls and get yourself a woman, you know, because a woman would understand, you know?
A woman.
They're all dumb.
Oh my God.
I think I'm going to turn to the dark side.
Black women are cool. Yeah, black women are good for you too. But I mean, so do you want to speak to that point of?
It's just that every female that I come in contact, every female that I give slight time to, because I don't give anybody time. Like time, it's sacred because that's something you spend, you use
Absolutely
on somebody, and you can't get it back. But it's like 99% of the females that I come in contact with, I tell them where I live. The first. It's kind of not like ground rules, but it's like an introduction that I tell everybody. Kind of like a copy and paste, it seems.
This is your disclaimer.
This is what you need to do in order to date me.
Where I live, who I live with.
Should I put your phone number under the bottom?
Oh, no.
Are we talking? Swipe right.
Swipe left. Where I live, who I live with, and that there's no drama with my daughter, my daughter's mother and I. And it's like they get intimidated without even meeting her. Like my rules. If you can't get along with my daughter and my daughter's mother, nothing can happen.
Okay. Do you think maybe you should save that for date number 2 or 3 or something? Maybe that's too forward in the beginning.
Nah,
Maybe
Ricky goes like that.
I'm straightforward.
I know you. But do you think maybe they should get to know you a little bit better first?
It kind of comes off like, well, if you don't like my baby mama, then we ain't gonna work out.
Like, just
so,
I'm saying it's a
if
deal
you're
break, like, no
these
offense.
girls, you know, if they're gonna see
they're women too, like some of them are old.
But these
women.
Yeah.
So, and it's something where it could come off the wrong way. Like, they're gonna be like, well, damn, he's putting his baby mama first. Where, you know.
Yeah, but you and Caitlyn are first.
I get that, and. I get that, but my thing is that, again, let's say when I start dating, I'll let them know, I'm like, hey, listen, my daughter's father is in the picture. He's not a deadbeat. He's a great father. You know, we do have a friendship. I was like, he can be a bit of a dick sometimes. He is a bit of an asshole, but he's cool once you get to know him. So it's kind of like, I kind of lay down the ground, and it's funny where, you know, like, you know, my boyfriend met him, and my boyfriend's like, oh, he's really cool. And I was like, yeah, you know. He's there, you know.
So maybe they should meet her before you tell them all that stuff.
Meet her first?
Yeah.
No.
Bring her on a date.
No.
All right, so do you feel maybe you should ease that in a little? You know,
I think I've told him he needs to soften it. Like, listen, you know.
Soften it a little bit.
How? Well, I can never be soft.
So, what was I forgot what movie it was, whatever, but. You know, you don't want to go right in with all of that. Make the first date about yourself first.
But regardless, even if they do, I guess accept that. They always do something to make me not want to. Like most of them can't last 2 days.
They can't last what 2 days?
They can't last.
Sorry, I took that the wrong way.
After starting, after talking serious, giving more time to them, they can't last 2 days.
2 days?
Sometimes no more than 2 text messages.
Huh? Oh, text. Okay, all right. Well, I'm back on that. All right. 2 days.
He gets bored easily.
You? It happens. I didn't want to get too personal.
That's why I never bought a video game in my life. Like me and Gian, remember Gian?
Yeah.
We always just download our own Xbox games, put them on DVDs.
But I mean, you can't.
It's kind of like that. I'll get bored fast.
You got tattoos.
Those are different.
Those are permanent. I don't have any because I can't.
How do you go from dating to tattoos?
That's my point. I don't have any tattoos because I'm very fickle about.
You gonna get bored of your tattoo?
Yeah. I really would, and I'd want to change it. I change my hats every day. I change, so I would want to. I'd be like, no, I don't like that now. So that's why I don't have. But if you can commit to that, you got ink on your skin. There can be something or someone that could last.
Well, I am talking to someone that does accept.
All right, I'm sorry. So I'll delete the number.
Delete the Instagram. My bad.
Yeah. Miss Lady Ma'am.
But it's not like everybody has a chance anyway.
Oh, well, she does.
My favorite word is no.
No, your favorite word is no?
That's why you blushing?
No.
So, all right, well, good luck with that. Like I said, I didn't want to get too deep in you guys' personal relationship and stuff, but this was a good conversation. It was, hopefully therapeutic for everyone.
At the end of the day, you gotta just think, if you do have children, you gotta see how it affects the child at the end of the day. So,
Absolutely.
it's really what it comes down to, because there's no point in being sour and bitter, and the child's gonna be the one suffering at the end of the day, so.
Yeah, you want to see you happy too, Ricky. Yeah.
Eventually. I am happy.
He'll get there.
So in other news, so we were talking about the news and things like that as well.
How social media doesn't cover enough real news.
Right, and one of the things that you brought to social media was the veterans.
Yeah, I posted something.
Oh my God, I saw that, and I saw you guys going back and forth.
Well, we were going back and forth.
He's the only one I can debate with without fighting.
No, and that's the good thing, because you can't find too many people. Like, me and Ricky can't talk about religion. So
I don't talk to religion about it. I don't talk to him.
So, but the thing is that I'm more open-minded when it comes to that. So it's something where when I saw the whole military stuff, it was
This is
my brother-in-law is a veteran.
This is when the government shut down for
a
couple days.
Yeah, it's like
it was on vacation.
Not only, like I said, do I have family members who are veterans, and I have friends who are veterans, and it's something that I've seen firsthand where it's like, it's so hard for them to get protection and money after they served, and people are real quick to just focus on, oh my God, let's boycott H&M and destroy the property, when it's kind of like
that lasted a couple days.
So it's things like that, the whole veterans thing, and I'm like, it's just sad, like, I'm a big NFL fan. I love the NFL.
Let me tell them first what the post was.
Oh, that's right. Go
so get the backstory
So
first.
the post was, let me get this straight. The country goes crazy over the NFL taking a knee, but when soldiers go without pay, silence, because as part of the shutdown, supposedly people in the military were not going to get paid.
Meanwhile, they still collected our taxes. Sales tax.
If I had it my way, the salaries would be reversed. They go, they fight for us, they come back to nothing for them. So if it was my choice, I would have them make the big bucks, and the sports people make.
Well, see, it's two different things. Because I feel like, obviously, they're fighting to protect our country, and their lives are on the line.
Absolutely.
So, obviously, I do feel that they do need, because let's face it, when they go to war, whether they lose a leg or they suffer from PTSD and all these other things, need medical treatment, which are more expensive. Now, as an NFL player, they do suffer injuries. They do suffer concussions. It's like you got two big ass running backs coming right at you. They could do some serious damage, and then again, that is money that they have to spend in order for them to get that medical attention. So at the end of the day, they're both needing medical attention. Yes, it's two different things, but do I feel that sports in general get overly paid? Yes, they do. You have, I love JJ Watt. You have him making $1 million. And don't get me wrong, he puts his money to good use. So he does charities. He puts his money where his mouth is, But it's not like where you have other celebrities where you got, let's say, Kanye spending money on chains and bracelets for a newborn baby, you know? So,
but it's his money. He can do.
I get it's his money, but it's
he doesn't. I mean, a celebrity.
But the whole
doesn't have
taking the knee is, to me, is like when even like the NFL player says, not out of respect, out of disrespect to the military men. It's just to the whole situation that's going on in the nation with our, you know, our president. How the black community has been affected a lot too, you know, and it's something where, again, I have friends, you know, who are black, and I've seen, you know, the show, and it's not something that I could say, oh, I understand, because they're gonna look at me like, bitch, you're not black, you don't understand. But then again, it's something where I'm like, well, I fall under the minority too, because I'm Hispanic, you know. So it's a lot of stuff that goes into play, you know. So the whole NFL thing with the military, it's just, you know, unfortunately we can't say, hey, dock the NFL players and pay our actual veterans.
No,
and,
I don't think.
You know, or whatever the situation may be. But I just feel that the government in general should take better care of these men and women who are taking care of, you know, trying to protect us, you know. So, and it's just a very sensitive topic you know, for some people that.
I think people make it sensitive.
Right.
Like the military, they fight for the right for us to protest. They fight for the right for us to take a knee.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I mean, at the end of the day, what's the whole purpose of having freedom of speech? If they want to take a knee, again, they're taking a knee because they want to see movement. They want to see rights happening. It's not like kind of saying, well, fuck you guys. I'm disrespecting the flag, or, you know.
No, they're
the
not
military.
disrespecting the flag.
Right. I think that was the point I was making was I respect Colin Kaepernick
Right.
for taking the knee
and
and veterans standing up for him.
Right.
Saying they got what his point was, whether they agreed with it or not. They were like, I'm fighting for him. So he's one of the people that put his money where his mouth is, like you said, J.J. Watt and stuff did. So I respect him for that. And like I was saying too, when you posted that, was like, the proof is in the pudding. You know, the government spends, you know, however much for bullets. Right. They spend so much for war, and they give the NFL millions of dollars every year to wave the flag, and it's at times it comes off as propaganda, because it's like you said, that money could be used for the soldier, being used and being defended as, well, we need people to see these players, these celebrities standing for the flag. So it's like they're spending money for these athletes. They're paying them to do that. So it's like, where's the priority stand? Because at the end of the day, the military is saying, well, we're going to spend a lot of money here.
Right.
Because when people see athletes and celebrities doing something, they want to do it. So a lot of times it comes off as propaganda, because now, you know, you remember when in the mall, the army people always have a table set up. Mm-hmm. That doesn't work anymore.
No.
Everybody's on social media. Everybody's watching sports, Kardashians, you know, reality TV and so forth. So if they can get a bunch of people to see before every game, football has the highest ratings because it's one day. Super Bowl is the one game, you know, playoff where everybody else has a best of 7 series. So this is the most highest rated TV show always every year. When everybody tunes in at 7 o'clock, before the tip-off or coin toss or whatever have you in any sport, first thing you're going to see is the flag. And what do we do every day in school? We salute to pledge allegiance to, right, we used to pledge allegiance to the flag. And again, I don't know if they were paid to do that, but however, priority is the flag, the flag, the flag. And when someone says, I'm not disrespecting the flag, people are quick to defend, and yes you are, and what about our soldiers? And the soldiers are like, no, then shut up. You know, you should be mad. It's like when the soldiers tell you they're not mad. But people ignore that because it's embedded in their head that the flag should be, and it's like, dude, they were paid to make you stand. You know what I'm saying? The players don't have to do it. They can if they want to. If they choose to come out, then so be it. Right. Some of them are actual Army vets. So some of them do come out, and you know, so it's like, but now you're saying he must stand. And it's like, no, he doesn't have to. And neither do you. They say, we now ask all of our, fans to stay. They ask.
Yeah.
Because we can't be, because that would come off as a communist state.
Yeah.
Which, we're borderline looking like. If you're saying you gotta stand, you gotta salute the flag, so we have the right to do so. It's not disrespectful. I feel like this country has some things they need to work out, which is what Colin is saying. And until they do, I'm just going to, take this knee real quick. And he sat down first. He was told and spoke to an actual vet and said, hey, it would look more respectful if you took a knee instead of just sitting there slouching. He took consideration and said, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
I won't just sit there with my arms folded and I will stand and then take a knee. And they said,
not a lot of people know that either. They're just quick to judge.
Right.
What blew my mind too was that I remember, well, this is just me in general. I feel like females, not that they shouldn't be talking about sports unless you know about the sports, because I know I've been in situations where I've heard girls talk about sports and I'm like, that's not even how you play the game. But okay. But again, I'm different. I'm really into sports. I love my sports. Where this girl, and she was just like, yeah, because he's 100% black. And then I'm like, I'm like listening and I'm like, who are you talking about? And she's like, Colin. I was like, technically, Colin's actually half white. No, he's not. No, he's not. Like, don't you see? She's like, look at his color, look at his fro. And I'm like, no, his mother's white. And I was like, and his father's black.
And he was raised by two white parents.
And I was just, and I'm trying to tell her, and she was just like, no. And I was like, you know what, let me shut her up. And I'm like, boom. And then she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, all right. So it's like, don't try to talk about people that's, their nationalities or whatever, and then not even know the facts, because at the end of the day, yes, granted, he might feel that, he relates more to the minority side, maybe because of his image, but, you could have some people say, well, he's half white. He could use the white privilege card, and try to get away with murder and shit. But again, it's all about what it really comes down to,
Right. And I don't even think he has to relate to either side.
No, he doesn't.
He could be black, white, Chinese, whatever. If he feels that he can be a voice for some people, then so be it.
Right.
That should have nothing to do with it. Him growing his fro could just be a sign of how he's feeling. He wants to be more in tune with, because for the longest he had to keep the low haircut. He had to be that image, and now he's saying, well, I want you to look at me and see this,
right? Because
this obviously pisses you off.
He's the quarterback here, the 49ers, right?
Yeah. Well, he was.
He was. Yeah.
He renegotiated his contract, got out of the deal. Nobody picked him back up.
Which blows my mind, because I just feel like if a team would have picked them up, I feel like so many sports fans and his following would have supported that team. Kind of like with me. Like, you don't think so?
So here's the thing. A lot of people, to me, and this is my opinion, a lot of people feel he's not on a team because he spoke up for injustice or whatever, what have you.
Right.
To me, he's not on the NFL team because he affected the NFL's money.
Right.
Any big business, when you mess with their pockets,
of course,
that's when they don't like you.
They won't want you.
Right.
True.
So a big chunk of the money, again, going back, like I said, the military cuts a check, however, to the NFL every year for the flag, the soldiers, and so forth. Not only did Colin open up that can of worms, people did research and they found out, they just started doing this about 5, 6, 7 years ago. Then people dug deeper. There's another verse to the national anthem that talks about having slaves and things. So that can of worms was opened up. Then people dug deeper and they were like, they just found more stuff came out. So people stopped watching.
Right.
Because they felt like, if they're going to do this to him, I'm not going to watch.
Right.
So the ratings went down.
Right.
So a lot, he affected the contract. The military could have backed out of that contract, but he also affected their TV ratings. So now he's also hurting their weekly money.
Right.
And this is ongoing. So he might have took out one contract, but now every week they're losing rating. And I think they said ratings were down this year. Ticket sales are down, and a lot of people have started to say.
I even heard that my sister's out in the South. Papa John's used to sponsor the NFL and they pulled out.
Well, Papa John's blamed the CEO actually stepped down because he blamed protests for ratings dropping and
that's right.
people ordering less pizza.
Yeah.
And they like, you're an idiot for saying that. And he said, I fucked up. And he resigned from his position.
He stepped down. And I was like,
so again, so So just think about it. So Colin affected money.
He affected Papa John's.
You know, Colin hasn't even said a word since last year.
That's true.
He hasn't been in the league all season.
No.
But the money is still being affected.
Right.
And that's the bigger issue.
That goes to show you that one person can make a difference.
And so imagine what more people, so whenever they talk about actually boycotting H&M, actually boycotting something, if we really did it, you see how flustered they get just from one man. They really went out of their way. They got Trump to get involved, and he made it. He flipped the whole take a knee thing to becoming. The whole knee thing. He stepped in and was like, oh, if they did that around me, I'd fire them. So then it became,
He was trying to influence the owners to
fire them. So the owners look like heroes. They're like, you know what, Jerry Jones, I'll kneel with you guys, take a picture. You know.
Yeah, and then the next second he's like,
it's done. So that was a good spin. They flipped that whole thing, made people forget what the whole protest was about, and then it became, oh, we're kneeling because of Donald Trump. No, we're not. Like, that's not what we're doing this for. So they flipped that whole thing, but the money was affected. And any big business or company or what have you, when you start messing with their money, and it has to be enough people. If you really affect their money, change will happen. Mm-hmm. Change will happen.
Yeah.
One of my posts was that they were making so much noise for the NFL and that knee and Colin, but that when the government shut down, you know, the military wasn't getting paid.
Right.
And no noise was being made.
Right.
Nothing on Twitter, nothing on Instagram, nothing on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now, what do we? I mean, like I said, for what they pay, we gotta look at the country we live in. What was Bush's vice president? Dick Cheney.
Yes.
Man, it wasn't even that bad when Bush was in office.
Hear me out. He was the CEO of a weapon company.
Right.
Who benefits most from going to war to him?
They do.
He's the owner. He's the CEO of a company that produced bullets and missiles and things. You know what? We should go to war. You know, sign this. So if we're allowing, that's a conflict of interest. If we're giving military strategy and planning and decision making to the people that make the weapons,
they're gonna want war.
Mm-hmm. So big thing that we'll talk about it later, but in Star Wars: The Last Jedi, the scene that a lot of people hate and dislike is when they go to the planet, the casino planet, and Rose tells them about, oh, these people profit from war. And making weapons. Mm-hmm. So this is a scene in the movie that a lot of people complain about. They don't like in the movie. But you see how
people don't like people don't like the truth.
The truth. Right. And we live in a country. Now look.
Now I'm gonna have to go see it this weekend.
Look at Trump. He's all about business. So he just signed a tax bill where
he's a businessman that's gone bankrupt though.
That's not the point.
Multiple times.
Bankrupt doesn't mean broke.
No,
a lot of people get caught up with him going bankrupt. You know what bankrupt means? Well, bankrupt means he can still take in money while they're not collecting taxes from him.
Right.
But so that's not a bad thing.
No, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but it's just the fact that he's trying to run this country like it's a business.
Yes.
You know, and
which, if you look at this country's history, it has been run like a business.
Yeah, but it hasn't been so like abruptly.
You sure about that? In what way?
I mean, besides 9/11. I would say
Pearl Harbor.
Well, I don't remember that far back.
Do your history.
I'm like, I know.
if you look at the history
yes, Pearl Harbor, or like when we attacked Hiroshima, you know, like, you know, 9/11, you know, things like that. The war in Afghanistan, you know, like the whole issue in Guantanamo Bay. Like, so there's a lot of stuff that, you know, again, I feel like to me, it's like, yes, it's stuff that I know, but it's like, I can't talk to, like, let's say my girlfriends are like, girl, so let's talk about politics, or like, let's talk about what really happens in Guantanamo Bay. They're like, bitch, what?
But what you can do is send them the link to Words Music Dance, and they, you know, we can talk about that stuff. Because they need to know what's going on.
But again, yes, it's things that, you know, I feel like Trump is just literally ripping the wound open and like just pouring every type of acid where it's really hard. Like I feel like it's really hard to swallow versus like maybe other presidents did it on the low.
It's us also.
It's even as Latinos, like, or it's just something where, you know, the whole shit with like deportation, people being deported and immigration, or him saying like, oh, we don't want, you know, like Haitians or Africans, but it's okay to have Norwegian immigrants. So it's like,
I mean, aside from what he said, like that immigration thing has always been in play. It's just that he's yo,
he's getting it done.
we have this. Like, let's get this done.
You know, and it's like, I do have some friends who are Trump supporters. I mean, but again, that's you know, their prerogative. That's their own thing. I'm not gonna be like, well, I'm not your fan. Fuck you. You know,
Then
but
you have a lot of Trump supporters that are like, yo, what the fuck do we do?
yeah, and then you have those that they're like, damn, he's taking it up a notch.
Well, the problem is a lot of Trump supporters thought he was going to help them. When in reality, he's helping his friends.
Right.
Which is high business.
And then that's when they're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They're like, we fucked up.
So if he's looking out for the businessman, that's why we're stuck with him. Because at the end of the day, the businesses they're gonna stick with him. They're gonna rock with him. They're not gonna care about anything he does because they're like, you know what? Let him. He's doing all right. So the more we talk about it, nothing's gonna happen. The powers that be. He gave Linda McMahon a job. He gave a lot of CEOs and corporate people.
Because WWE, they gave him
sponsorship, right?
A couple mil during his campaign.
He scratched my back. I scratched yours.
She bought a position.
Exactly. If you look at the history, you know, of presidencies, a lot of times they put people in their cabinet who are affiliated with this or in this business or whatever, and it's a lot of handshakes and winks. So this is nothing new. He may be more outspoken to the matters. You know, we've never had a president that tweeted 24/7.
Right.
But there's been, you know, a lot of things that he has done. You can look back and see paperwork for other presidents have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Reagan trickle down economics, but I mean, there's
Reagan was a celebrity.
He was a movie star. He was a movie star. Got in office, took care of his friends. The drug epidemic got to an all-time high. Rich got rich, poor got poorer. You know, same
the struggle
thing.
got real.
I mean, you know, so you know, Trump. We again, like I said, we got to look at who can affect something. We can affect something in numbers. But like you said, a lot of people get focused on the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying? And whereas those that really can make a difference are big business, big companies, but they look at Trump and them, they're like, eh. or those that pay the bills. You know, people that the military's paying the football players or the athletes in general. Big companies endorsing it. Everybody's seen a commercial. If every commercial you watch, look at that company and say, why are they spending money here and not veterans? The same way the NBA now wear company logos on their jerseys. Fuck it, put some logos on the military. it won't be camouflage anymore. But if that's what it takes to get some sponsorship, put a big Nike swoosh on the tank. But give them some money.
I can almost see that.
But pay them at least. At least they'll get some money out of it. You know what I'm saying? But they're more invested in, you know, the distraction. Sports is more of a distraction than what's going on. A lot of people was unaware when Donald Trump signed a tax bill because something else happened. Somebody else got, you know, blamed for a sex scandal.
Yeah, but that's how it works.
Right.
That's how it works.
Oh yeah, that's how media works. When something big is happening, they throw a celebrity or something to get you off what's really going on.
Exactly. And that's why we talk about it here. That's why we talk about it. We're not afraid to tackle those topics.
Right.
That's what we do here. Yeah.
So we're gonna go protest tomorrow. We're calling out of work.
Yeah. Let's do this. I got 6 days. Still get paid.
I can protest while like eating something.
All right, lunch break. Go to lunch break then. Meet you for lunch break.
Do a lunch break
Hold the sandwich. Hold the sign.
Protest.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. We pretty much covered everything. Anything else on your mind you want to get off your chest? You want to tell me your phone number? Oh no, I forgot.
No, you got somebody.
You got my phone.
Mystery girl.
I'm sorry.
Who? What'd you say?
I said he has my phone number.
Okay.
But Miss Lady, ma'am, go get him. It's all yours. And
I was having a female here.
it was awesome to have a female presence here.
Thank you.
Female point of view. Glad you were here and you put it out there.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
Yes. We need more women to step up.
Definitely.
It's an open invitation for everyone, you know. But on that note, yeah. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button. Share it. Tell your friends about it. Let them know what's going on. Also, hit subscribe and the bell to be notified when new content is loaded, because there's much, much more to come.